Supporting our circle, the National Tribal Clearinghouse on Sexual Assault provides resources and education to service providers to improve responses to sexual assault and empower tribal communities. Healing by connecting to culture. This video is an introduction to healing by connecting to culture for service providers working with tribal communities and survivors of sexual assault. More than half, 56.1%, of American Indian and Alaska Native women have experienced sexual violence in their lifetime. These high rates of violence have left a multifaceted impact on tribal communities: emotional, physical, cultural, and on broader systemic levels. There is a deep connection between sexual violence and the need of survivor-centered, cultural-affirming healing. Honoring, by acknowledging and accepting, traditional or non-Western healing types and embracing multiple healing modalities is essential to providing the best care possible for American Indian and Alaska Native people. It begins by departing from the idea that Western healing is the only option. Healing and wellness traditions will not always be clinic-based. An example of this may be a ceremony that is off-site near reservation that requires travel or multiple days in attendance. Be prepared to be flexible, as not all supportive services and care are the same. Social ecological model versus medical response. The social ecological model means providing support to sexual assault survivors through holistic ways that involve the mind, body, spirit, and community, whereas a medical response means a focus on providing care for the immediate physical and psychological symptoms after an assault. Best practices. Not all healing looks the same for each person. There are different healing methods for each nation, tribe, and community. Some may be shared by certain groups, and some may be unique to a specific group. Examples of traditional healing methods. The use of traditional medicines is very important. Examples of this might be sweetgrass, tobacco, sage, cedar, or other herbs and plants. There are various terms that tribal communities may use to describe lit medicines. These might be referred to as a smudge or to smoke off. To effectively provide care, understand that some policies prohibit the use of flames, smoke, tobacco, and incense. Be proactive in finding solutions and alternatives to issues that may arise. Note that there is a difference between commercial tobacco use and traditional or ceremonial tobacco, and therefore might warrant different policy considerations. Cultural activity is often incorporated into the healing process for American Indian and Alaska Native people. Some examples of this could be beading, prayer ties, weaving, talking circles or healing circles, sweat lodges, finger weaving in community settings, and many more with various names and various ways of practice. There is a notable benefit to healing through art. Art encourages cultural identity and reinforces intergenerational ties. Using symbols, stories, and teachings that have been passed down through the generations is empowering. Artistic expression also allows participants to rediscover the creative part of their mind that may have been silenced after a sexual assault. Traditional healing can also look like connecting to ancestral lands, language preservation, traditional foods like corn, beans, squash, wild onions, and private ceremonies. Some traditional healing methods are kept private and may not be utilized or understood by people outside of the nation, tribe, or community. Certain sacred practices are guarded closely. This is to honor cultural teachings and practices that are meant only for those who have earned the right to participate through lineage, training, or lived experience. Self-preservation is also important in close practices to maintain spiritual protection and respect. Certain ceremonies are not meant for public display or casual participation. Close practices also protect sacred ceremonies from appropriation, exploitation, abuse, and misuse. Many healing rituals are specific to a tribe, nation, or community's language, landscape, and social structure. Without specific context, the practice can lose meaning or be misinterpreted. Supporting healing for American Indian and Alaska Native survivors of sexual assault means doing things in a good way. Intentionality goes beyond just meaning well. It's acting with awareness, humility, and care to build authentic relationships with tribal communities that have faced centuries of betrayal and harm from institutions meant to help them. Service providers should proactively identify and connect to culturally relevant resources and take a multidisciplinary approach to serving survivors. One way to achieve this can be through a type of elder in residence who can provide the mentorship to spiritual and cultural education as needed. Locate culturally specific services and providers near you who you can work in partnership with. Invite local tribal communities and providers to conduct organization trainings. This may highlight regional and community-specific healing practices and community building. In summary, there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to serving citizens from 574 federally recognized tribes, as each community is distinctly unique, from the urban and suburban to the most rural of places. You can start planning now for how your organization can identify and learn from these tribal communities and partners to be more informed and ready to extend connections to create survivor-centered and culturally affirming healing. For more information about healing by connecting to culture or other videos relating to enhancing the response to sexual assault, we encourage you to view our resources in the NTCSA Learning Center.